State Republican representative in Wyoming, Troy Mader, back in the 1980s, wrote about AIDS. And he had a curious opinion about that. So he was asked about it recently, and we'll see if he changed his mind about it, because the things that he had said were so outrageous. But again, that was a long time ago. First, let's tell you what he said. First of all, he wrote a whole book about it. It's called The Death Sentence of AIDS, Vital Information for You and Your Family's Health and Safety. Wow, okay, well, I'm gonna wanna read that, right? That's got vital information about my family's safety. He says, homosexuals purposely infected women to pass AIDS infection into the straight population. Well, of course they did, because they don't just want to live their lives unimpeded. They'd like to kill themselves and then kill everyone else along with them. Why? They're evil, they're gay. I don't know why they would want to do that, okay? But that was his theory back then. He says, many homosexuals demand the right to have sexual acts with children of any age, including infants. I don't actually know of any gay group that demands that right at all. Now, there might be some radical groups, both gay and straight, that are in favor of pedophilia, but they are by definition radical, and they're not in the mainstream of gay or straight groups. And by the way, he said this, no, it's okay. You'll eventually see that gays will demand to have sex with children, including infants. Well, he wrote that in 1984. And since then, he's been proven, 100% incorrect, because they never demanded that right. Okay. And by the way, the people who usually have sex with children, at least in the massive cases we've seen in the news, are people in the church. Priests, pedophiles in the church, who then get protected by their right-wing bosses. So that's what's happened since you wrote the book. Okay. He continues, there are admitted homosexuals in Congress, as well as in many other branches of government. That part is true. Barney Frank was in Congress. And then what happens? Okay. Congress has many members that are sympathetic to the homosexual cause. Okay. And then what happens? Okay. Remember, he wrote this a while back. So his idea was there's this conspiracy, they're in Congress, and they're going to push for getting AIDS into the women so they kill everybody off. Since then, have members of Congress risen up and said, yes, we are part of the homosexual agenda to pass AIDS on to women and kill off the entire American population. They had several decades to do so. Oh, they still haven't done that. That's weird. Okay. Homosexuals have very strong, well-financed political activists who are constantly attempting to get legislation passed in favor of homosexual and lesbian rights. And, okay, so, African Americans have well-financed African American groups who try to get African Americans the same rights as whites. How dare they? Okay. Now, in his book, he quoted an even more outrageous book. It was called The AIDS Cover-Up, from one of his buddies, Gene Antonio. The Real and Alarming Facts About AIDS and AIDS, a Weapon in the Hands of Militant Homosexuals. Now, this is where we get into the weaponized AIDS. Gene Antonio explained, many homosexuals demand the right to kill themselves with the AIDS virus and to kill others by infecting them. My sense of it is that they tried to avoid dying, and that's why they were happy to take medicine that prolonged their lives, not that they were happy to kill themselves or infect others. Okay. He says, now, they say to Troy Mader, you quoted this guy approvingly in your own book. You said all these outrageous things yourself, talking about how the homosexual community wants to infect the whole population with their weaponized AIDS, etc. So at this point, you obviously are going to withdraw that, right? I mean, my God, all the things we've learned in all these decades then. By the way, in 1984, this was just as hateful as it sounds today. It's just that it was in a context where there were more hateful people, right? And more ignorance on the topic. It doesn't excuse what he wrote in 1984, but at least he's going to backpedal today, right? Not exactly. First of all, he said, what? I merely quoted what the experts recommended at the time. Who? Experts like your idiot friend who thought there was weaponized AIDS? Okay, experts at the time. There's no real scientist saying that. And he says, well, to be fair, quote, some of the research in the book was a little outdated. Which research is that, my friend? The research where you said that the gay population had a secret agenda to commit national suicide? Some of the research is outdated. And finally, Ross Story explains, he did, however, say that he still believes that the real problem in homosexuality is the promiscuity, which is the means by which homosexuals will help America commit national suicide. In other words, he still believes the same exact thing. You know, the funny thing is, guys like him were actually more out of power in 1984 when we had more ignorance. But today, since the right wing is so emboldened and the Tea Party is backed by giant amounts of money, Koch brothers money, corporate money, etc., guys who were considered radical and extreme even back in 1984 are now in power. They have more power, not less power than they did before. And they still believe the same ridiculous, ignorant things that they believed back then.